Senate, D.C. residents one big step closer to having a representative in the House. That's where the voting rights bill is headed now, but the battle faces even more challenges ahead. Fox 5's Bob Barnard with more now on the historic vote.
The vote was 61 to 37, pretty much along party lines, and that's just fine with D.C. delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton.
Winning the Senate is like winning the lottery.
The Democratic majority in the Senate has taken the district a big step toward full voting rights in the House of Representatives, but not in the Senate.
One step further towards district residents having the same constitutional representation that every other American citizen has.
On the streets of Washington, a city of 600,000 residents, a hopeful tone among longtime D.C. taxpayers.
It's about time, don't you think? Why are we being denied what everybody else gets? I'm impressed. Yes!
I think it would be terrific. I think it's overdue. We pay taxes. I've served in the military, and it's time we got the vote.
The outrage factor is written right there on D.C. license plates. It's taxation without representation, something most Republicans in the Senate say you can blame on our founding fathers, who intended only for states to have voting privileges in Congress.
It's a legalistic argument, which has merit, but only on a legalistic, not on the principle, which I think is an overriding one.
Changing the law would increase the House membership by 2 votes. The second would most likely be a seat from the Republican-leaning Utah. This would be the first time in nearly a century the House of Representatives would grow in number.
It's a moment of joy and a moment of progress. It's not over. We've still got the House and then the Conference Committee, but we are on our way, finally, to justice for the citizens of the District of Columbia.
Bob Barnard, Fox 5 News.
Senator Lieberman says most likely the U.S. Supreme Court will have the final word. One constitutional scholar we spoke to says it will likely be a close decision, but that the justices will likely end up giving D.C. residents their vote in Congress.
Well, attached to that bill, a change to D.C.'s strict gun laws. It would repeal the semi-automatic gun ban and remove gun registration requirements, among other things. The House's version of the voting rights bill does not include the gun law amendment, so there's a chance that the language could be removed during negotiations between the House and the Senate. President Obama is going to announce his plan for Iraq later today. According to congressional sources, the president told lawmakers that he plans to withdraw most troops by August of 2010. That's not as fast as he had promised in his campaign, but it still means rapid moves to remove our forces from the war zone. The plan would leave behind 35,000 to 50,000 troops to advise the Iraqi army and protect U.S. interests in Iraq. Mr. Obama is going to announce the strategy at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina.
The president has also revealed his first budget proposal, the plan that calls for spending $3.5 trillion in fiscal 2010. Spending in the current fiscal year to $3.9 trillion. Tax hikes on singles earning more than $200,000 a year and couples earning more than $250,000. $634 billion would go toward a down payment on a universal health care plan. The president calls his plan a step in the right direction.
That will not only make families healthier and companies more competitive, but over the long term, it will also help us bring down our deficit.
Right now, we are in dire economic times. We've got to ensure that people understand that we are all working towards a goal of better access to more quality care.
President Obama said the plan would also result in a tax cut for 95% of American workers. D.C. Councilman Marion Barry expected to head home from the hospital today, 1 week after his kidney transplant. Doctors at Howard University Hospital say Barry is doing well. A spokeswoman says hypertension and diabetes led to Barry's kidney problems. Barry's donor, who was a lifelong friend, is also recovering. And Barry has a news conference set for 10 o'clock this morning, and we will carry that live on our website, myfoxdc.com. And now to a developing story. The search is on for a suspect in Silver Spring, accused in a traffic stop gone wrong. Police say he barreled into an officer last night along Castle Boulevard. Beth Parker joins us live in Silver Spring with the latest. Beth, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. This is Castle Boulevard right here. That's where that traffic stop was around 8:15 last night. There were three men in the car that was stopped. The driver of the car was outside the car talking with police, and investigators say that is when the person who was in the passenger seat just jumped behind the wheel and tried to take off. The officers were struggling, trying to stop him,